well, let's make a short introduction round. Good. Who wants to start?
Okay, why don't you start with yourself, Robert, as chair?
Okay.
Yeah.
As chair, as said, I'm the chair of ICMCI, and I'm the successor from Dwight. I took over in October. It's 2 years ago. I have one other year, and it's a limited term, so which is actually good. 3 years, it's enough. And I'm from Austria. I'm European. I'm Austrian, so I should have known that this is a holiday. And in my professional life, I'm a management consulting with a strong focus on IT. And what may be interested to add is that on behalf of ICMCI, I have been chairing the ISO committee and had some interesting learnings about setting up a standard on ISO level on international level. It was very challenging, but very interesting. And it was a good opportunity to look behind the scenes from another perspective. Yeah, who else?
Sophie, you come up next on my screen.
Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. So Sophie Lemieux, very happy to meet everyone. New chair of CMC Canada. Of course, I've been vice chair and representative of my province, which is Quebec. So my first language is French. So I already know Dwight, and we've been collaborating together. So I'm also, of course, a management consultant. My expertise is mostly in synergistic teams and making sure high performance teams, and so helping manager and its team to perform. I'm also a teacher at university, and I give a lot of training, and I'm bubbly and extrovert, and yeah, that's about it. So I sometimes am different from other consultants that I've seen in our board. So yes, so thank you for welcoming me, and hopefully I'll be able to stay the whole hour. Like I said, I'm expecting a call, so hopefully it will come later.
Well, we will expect some questions from your end, Sophie, because you're new to all of this. But then I would ask Igor to actually introduce himself if possible. I know that you attended with us previously, Igor, but for the sake of everyone else who haven't met you yet. I know that Andre it would be the first time to meet you, as well as Sophie. So please do go ahead.
My expertise is agribusiness, and I'm board member, director in Brazil, so IBCO, and just it.
And you're on the board of IBCO, and this year they will have 3 projects for the Constantinos. So I hope we'll have the same from the US and from Canada. Dwight, I don't know if you'd like to introduce yourself. I know that everyone already knows you and you've been there for so long. So,
well, just to say hi, and as former chair of ICMCI. So as past chair, I'm not as directly involved, but am working on governance, the implementation of the governance task force work that we did last year. And my specialty, which we don't talk much about our specialties, I work in organization performance. So I work with the heads of organizations to help them leverage their success up to that next level. Too often they get stuck as they start to grow. So I help remove the barriers.
Nick, we're going as per my screen, and you come next.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm from the UK. I'm secretary of ICMCI. I'm a fellow of the UK Institute of Consultants. In ICMCI, I have been the chair of the Professional Standards Committee and the interim chair of the Quality Assurance Committee, which is now Institute Quality Assurance, IQA. I've been a consultant for 33 years now, after 25 years in the manufacturing industry.
And thank you for being a volunteer. Andre, we go with you and then we close with Khuzaima. So Andre, if you may.
Good to see you. Long time to see. Dwight, good to see you as well. Khuzaima, always good to see you. Robert, nice to meet you. Igor, nice to meet you. Nick and Sophie. So my name is Andre Vaccaro. I'm from the board of directors here for IMC USA. I am originally from Brazil, Igor. I am Brazilian as well, so no one is perfect, right? This is internal joke, right? So, I'm really glad to be here. Really glad to see Dwight, and I would like to also mention that we have a close partnership with Dwight. Dwight is always helping IMC USA, and we are so glad that you do that, Dwight. And also, my consulting company is Nova Orbis. I started this business here in the US in 2015, and what we do is that I help foreign companies to establish here in the US, and with management consulting. And but my soft spot actually is business planning, strategic planning, and business planning. This is what I do. Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here.
Khuzaima, your turn. I know everyone knows you. Everyone have seen your emails, but it's a good chance to introduce yourself as well.
I hope I'm not bothering many people with my emails and my announcement for ICMCI, but I'm very pleased to see you all on the screen. Of course, my name is Khuzaima Zarlawan. I'm from Amman, Jordan. I joined ICMCI in 2017 as an executive secretary, and I hope my experience as an office manager during the past year was helpful for ICMCI, but let me admit that working with ICMCI is a new learning curve for me that enrich my experience. So I'm happy to work with you all.
Robert, back to you.
Okay. I want to take the chance because actually, as I said at the beginning, it's the way of the communication should be that you tell about the IMC and what's going on. But as you introduced yourself, and I realized that this is actually some sort of America's Hub meeting. I want to take the opportunity to talk about the new hub policy. And because maybe you're not aware of the new hub policy, Dwight is here, who is the person who is in charge of finalizing the policy and the terms of reference. And the reason why it's so important for the hubs is that it might have some impact on how you set up, especially the America's Hub. Until now, the hubs are organized in a way that in a regional way that will stay the same, and it's an intermediate layer between ICMCI and global level, and on national level the IMCs, and in between there are the hubs. Now some hubs are working quite well, some hubs are working not so super, but one of the reasons why we think we could improve the performance of the hubs is that we need to set up the hubs according to the regional requirements. And the regional requirements in America, in the Americas, is different to Europe or to Asia Pacific area or African area. And we discussed a lot about setting up the hubs. How could they deal with all the different challenges in the different regions of the world? And then we said, why don't we let the hubs decide what would be the best way to set up? And so we said, okay, let's ask the hubs to set up some sort of a business plan for something like 3 or 4 or 5 years. It's up to them. It should be a couple of years, but it shouldn't be too long. And ask the hubs, what do you need to achieve the goals you set up in your business plan? And the goals will be different from the different hubs' perspectives, because they have different political issues, they have different stakeholders on regional level. And this is why we said we call that the agile hub concept. This wording was invented by Kim Carney. It's his copyright, but I still love this wording because it should be as agile as possible. But we want to empower the hubs to deliver their work in a way that is suited to the needs of the IMCs. On national level, the IMCs represent the profession to the different stakeholders, politics, other associations, and so on. And on global level, ICMCI is doing that. But on regional level, there's something missing in between. And I think personally that this regional level is more important than the global level at the end of the day, because many consultants who want to be connected international, they don't need to be connected to the other side of the globe. They just want to be connected to the neighbor country or to the neighbor country. But if they speak the same language, if they are in the same time zone, it might be much better than being connected thousands of kilometers to another part of the world. So this is why we want to empower the hubs. And by doing that and discussing that, we said, why don't we use this concept for something else, what we call communities, which are not stick to the regional requirements, but stick to a special topic, a megatrend in consulting, like sustainability or digitalization or young professionals or whatever is on the table, and ask them to set up a business plan in the same manner like we ask the hubs. There's one difference. We want to have hubs, and these are what we might call some standing committees or whatever. It is part of the ICMCI governance, but the communities should be much more flexible. They can come and go because a megatrend is handled and it is not this important anymore. And there's a slight difference in the requirements of the business plan. The business plan for the communities have to include a number of IMCs who support this idea, because all we do needs to have some positive impact for the IMCs. We don't want to set up a community no IMC is asking for. And therefore we said, okay, if there is a sufficient number, which might be a small number, it might be something like 5 IMCs, maybe 12, maybe 6, we don't know yet. It's something that needs to be discussed, and which is not the real, it's as long as there is a sufficient number of IMCs who support that, and maybe support also in terms of resources. Because if the hub decides to represent on regional level and traveling to some international organizations, it might be some costs that come up. And so these costs needs to be financed. ICMCI has the resources to finance that, but if the hubs decide that, they might decide to do some representation that might cost money to a certain extent, of course. And this is their decision, and that is something that should be covered in the business plan. So these two different approaches should make us more open for others, for other stakeholders, to include other stakeholders, to address especially young consultants who would love to be connected on an international level. And this is our task. It's the task of ICMCI to connect on international level. This is something an IMC on national level cannot do because they don't have the structure, and if they are embedded in ICMCI. So I fully understand that they say, well, why don't you do it? You as ICMCI, although I don't like the word in you ICMCI and we IMC, it's us, it's the big family. So as you're here, I just wanted to use this opportunity. I would like to hear your ideas about that, your thoughts about it. It might be new for you. It shouldn't be totally new because we are talking about that for a couple of times, but as I see new faces, I just want to take the opportunity.
If I can just jump in to supplement that, I think that was a great overview, Rob. You started with this as sort of like a hub meeting, and the reason for that is that we are now searching for a new chair for the Americas Hub. So we did send out a call for nominations. Nobody's put up their hands, so we'll be starting to twist arms fairly soon. So if you know anyone that would be interested and have the time and energy to take a leadership role in the Americas for the hub activities, that would be just amazing. We had one, Flavio from Brazil and Chris from Canada had both agreed to kind of, one was chair and one was supporting vice chair. I can't remember which order it was in, but both of them, because of priorities that arose in their business and in their private lives, they decided that they didn't have the energy that they wanted to devote to it. So we're still looking for people. So just to get that message out, and you'll be hearing from us through other channels as well.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So in order for someone to be chairing that hub, do they need to be a board member, or can we find someone within a membership? Or do they need to have an official position within the organization, for example, on Canada board? Or like Chris is our, no, how do you say that? A fiduciary. Well, the one that represents
Is
us.
a delegate.
Yes, delegate.
That's the
Thank
word.
you. Was looking for the
Yeah.
word. So do we need someone like that, or does it have to be within our board? Or because, like you said, it needs to be someone that has the energy, the time, and so I would do it, but with the chair and everything else, I mean,
Yeah.
it's impossible right now. But if I want to find someone, so any specifics?
There are advantages, because having that close link to the board, to a board, and understanding the governance process is helpful, but it's not required. There's nothing that correct me if I'm wrong, Rob and Rima, but I don't think there's anything in the criteria that says they must be a board or a delegate.
You're putting the new GOR, so you
Yeah.
decide actually.
That's right. It's in
Yes.
development now,
Before-
so we could change
Before
it.
it used to be a delegate, actually.
It did used to be.
That's how
that
it
was a
was
delegate.
before. But
Yeah.
now things are happening and changing, and that could change. However, it is a preference, like White said, for it to be someone who's concerned or close, let's say, with the IMC officials, so that whatever is happening at the regional level, it is something that could be reflected at the national level, or maybe take learnings from the national level into the regional one in order to properly support their role.
Yes, please, Andre.
Yeah, and of course, it has to be a CMC, right? I believe that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Especially in Americas, as far as I understand, but the situation in America is so diverse, from Canada to South America, and it needs to be a person who understands what's going on. But management consultants are very quick in learning. So if the hub agrees to find a person who is fairly new to the business, might be good, because they have different approaches and they bring in new perspectives. But the members of the hub needs to be a little bit patient. We will be patient, because these learnings, as soon as you know everything, you don't realize, well, how couldn't you understand? But if we are not in this, it's many things are new. But if you're willing to learn and everybody agrees, okay, this is a new person, it's better than to have non-chair, and it's better to have a chair, just to have a chair who is having a fine position and being chair of the hub, and that's it. So I personally would prefer to have some active people and connected people. It should be a CMC, which is a little bit more important for me personally, because that is representing our profession. You need to be CMC.
If you allow me, I'll bring this to our board, and we may have we may have a name like in a week or two to put on the table. I mean, just
Yeah, we'll do exactly the same. And we have an integration also with new board members. So I will also ask with the new board members. They're more naive on the time it takes to be on a board, so they may agree more easily.
Thanks
Let's
both.
take
That's
advantage of that
appreciated.
then.
But being in the board and being the hub chair might have some synergies at least. So it's not double. It's 1.5. Let me say in that way. It's
And if I may, Robert, there's one other thing I want to add. I'm not sure everyone knows that the annual meeting and the international conference are going to take place in October this year, and it's going to be face-to-face. So all of you in the Americas would need to put yourself on a flight and come to Amman, Jordan. And we'd love to meet as many of you as possible. The dates that you should just mark in your calendar for now until we make sure that we have all the arrangements and the logistics ready for us to announce them is arrival 10th of October. Events finish at the end of the 13th. And 14th could either be travel day or could be joining the extended tour. So the important working days are 11th, 12th, and 13th. On the 12th, we have the Konstantinos Award. So it's going to be a big gala dinner. And I know that you're going to enjoy it. The first day, which is the 11th, plus 12th till midday, is our business meeting, which is the annual meeting. On the first day, it's about presentations, updating you on what took place during the year and update you on strategy and reporting. The first half of the second day, which is again the business meeting, that's where the presentation of the resolutions take place, and that's where we end up doing the voting. The second half of the day is the opening of our CMC International Conference. It's our 10th this year, so we're going to celebrate it. So please be there. On the evening, early evening, that's when we start with the gala dinner, and that's where we celebrate our Konstantinos Award winners. On the 13th, it's the second day of the annual meeting, of the international conference. And this year we're updating our ISO 20700 checklist training material, and we might on the 10th actually hold train the trainer on the ISO. So any IMC who are looking into training of their any of their CMCs on delivering the training on their behalf could join that meeting, and anyone who already attended and would like to update themselves on the changes that took place on the material, they are also welcome to join at a much smaller fee. There will be a pre-conference kind of hiking tour. It's going to be for 2 days. Those of you who love hiking, we'd love for you to join that. And after the conference, there will be a 3 to 4 day tour where you could see Jordan. So I hope you turn it into a family type of trip. We have 3 different hotel options for accommodation. 2 of those are 5 stars, 1 is a 4-star, and we're getting good prices for those. So work on the agenda for the conference is still in progress. We already have a good lineup of speakers. We're still enriching that, and we're awaiting confirmations, and we're still reaching out to some as well. But when that is ready, when we are final with all the information, it would be announced to everyone, and hopefully we'll be able to do that by maximum mid next month. If you have any questions till then, let us know. If you haven't yet already sent the save the date to your members, please do. And we want as many people to be here. We've missed being in the same room together. So I hope you'll be able to make it.
Thank you, Rima. Very good introduction. Hi, Norma, another board member for those who haven't met Norma before. I think all board members from the Americas are present.
Thank you very much, Robert. I do apologize. I had another meeting that went over time, so we were just wrapping up.
No worries.
Good to see all of you again, and good to see some new faces that I haven't met. Sophie, Andre, and Igor have been in activities with.
And I'm sorry, Norma, from where country are you? I heard the Americas, but it's there's more than one country.
I am Sophie in the beautiful island of Barbados.
Oh.
So I should
Yes.
probably have put on the background with the island and the breeze and because I'm looking out at the coconut trees. And sorry, folks. And yesterday morning I went down and had my early morning swim before having a whole day of work with clients. But it's okay. I can make you jealous and make you come down to Barbados soon.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I have the.
Sorry, you turned off, Sophie. Oh, she has to go. Okay.
She had already informed us that she might get a call from a client at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, anyone has
okay.
any questions to our chair? Has any questions about the events? Have any questions about our strategy? Anything that you'd like to learn more about? Please go ahead.
Andrew, you're on mute. I don't know if you wanted to say something.
Oh, I was just, saying that, wow, a lot. I would like to know a lot. But okay, I mean, there's plenty of time, right, for us to get that. But just one question is regarding the CMC Global here in Americas. How are you going to, I don't know if you have something special for the CMC Globals in the countries that we don't have IMCs?
The Global Institute.
That's correct, the Global Institute.
I'm not getting the question, actually. The CMCGI is part of all the hubs, by the way. It's part of the Asia Pacific, part of Eurohub, and part of the Americas hub. And Khuzaima, I don't know if there are any members in GI that belong to any of the Americas.
Well, the chair.
Other than the chair. The chair
Yes.
is
No, the
also,
chair of
yeah,
Costa Rica, yes, of course.
is
No,
from
we don't
Costa
have-
Rica. None.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean-
only one person for now from the Americas, and that's the chair of CMCGI, Otto Acuna.
Oh yes, I was I was asking maybe if the Global Institute had some strategy to get more members for the countries that we still do not have IMCs, of course,
Yeah.
here in the Americas or something like that, or if there's something planned or not. This is the idea.
Actually, that's the purpose, well, one of the purpose of GI. I don't know if you ever had a discussion with Otto, to which extent he's approaching consultants in these countries. I don't feel he's he wouldn't. Let me say the other way around. I'm sure he has some consultants in some parts of especially South America, but I don't know to what extent. And of course, I think it would be in his favor to be a little bit more connected to the hub, because that should be a win-win situation. And he's delivering together with Dwight, I guess, trainings in ISO 20700 for the GI, and that would be a good entry or starting point to connect with consultants. That's actually right. He's the father of GI.
That is one of the strategies, and we're working on the Spanish version of ISO 20700 LMS, so that we can use that as an entry point into the countries. So I know, as chair of CMC Global Institute, he's concerned about getting better reach into the Americas, and I think his involvement in the Americas Hub, I know he has been involved in Americas Hub's meetings, would love to collaborate with other institutes about how we can do that better.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Any other issues from your side? If not, I just want to memorize something different, not totally different. Along with the annual meeting and the conference before that, the International Consultancy Day takes place. It's on June 1st. It's the Thursday, but today in 2 weeks.
Correct.
So I hope it's in your calendar. We have 2 sessions. The National Consulting Index will be published for the last year, which is a good tool to market your organization, your IMC. And we will have some presentation about the impact of consulting. The purpose of the ICT is to approach the consulting community outside of the consultants. It's so our clients or client organizations. That's why we do the International Consultancy Day, and that's the purpose. And I hope to see you there. And it's important that many people are present in this it's a 1 hour session in the morning and a 1 hour session in the afternoon. So pick one out of that, and it's not too much time to spend.
And to celebrate yourselves.
Yeah.
And anyone who's interested to know about the chair updates that where the strategy was presented, just visit our YouTube channel. You will find all the videos there. That way, Andre, you will get to know more. Since you mentioned that there's yet a lot to learn, you will learn about the strategy. Instead of reading, you'll actually hear about it and look at the presentation. It'll be a better use of your time, where you get more information during the same time. So the YouTube channel has a lot for anyone who wants to know more.
We'll do so. Thank you very much, Rima.
Okay, if everything is said, I'm fine. We don't need to take use of the full hour. If there's anything offline, just get in touch with Rima or with me. We'll be happy to answer your questions or to discuss your opinion. If not, I want to say thank you for joining. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice, what is it? A nice day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
everyone.
Have a great day,
All right,
everyone.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.